Get it together. Oh.
¿Me sigue o no me sigues todavía?
Oh, shit.
This shit rang off heavy in the club in Puerto Rico.
Ooh.
Straight back from vacation.
The motherland.
Gasté 30,000 en la medusa.
Versace.
Ella siempre que quiere me usa. Aquí si la saca la usa.
Usa.
¿Qué cojones?
If you haven't seen the video, the pretty ass girl with the tattoo on her forehead with her little chicken singing this song, go look it up.
Tattoo on the forehead?
Yeah, like a barbed wire. She's mad cute, bro. Shout out to the island. Woo! We got Hoffa in the building today.
Mr. Hoffa, the super host.
I thought you were gonna say super hoe.
No, yeah, that too. And shout out to Hayuya in Puerto Rico. I used to live out there, man, in the mountains.
Shout out to the motherland. Shout out to Brother F and Dolly.
Straight back from the land.
They was on vacation with us. Good times.
Hey.
I left my daughter in Puerto Rico.
I'm sure she doesn't care.
She's F, hit me with a fade out, baby, please. She's zip lining right now. Shout out to her, bro.
You didn't do that shit, you pussy.
Hell no, nah, bro. My back was fucked up, and then.
Oh, that's a good excuse.
And then I was just lazy, bro. No, but I wouldn't go zip lining. That's
what I mean. You're a pussy.
Oh, yeah, that's stupid. I don't do things that are stupid just to prove.
No,
nothing.
no, you don't do things that are how'd you say before?
Dangerous,
high risk,
dangerous, life threatening.
Yeah,
high risk.
Why would you want to just put your life in the line of a plastic string, bro?
It's not a plastic string, but
whatever
yeah.
the fuck.
Adrenaline, bro.
Yeah, kid.
That's adrenaline rush.
To see it as pussy.
I don't live off adrenaline.
Yo, you
I
know
live
your
off
man,
natural adrenaline.
your man Redman is now an official skydiving
Instructor?
something like that.
That's what's up, yo. I want to do skydiving.
I kind of want to go skydiving, but then
See, look, come
I
on,
think
you don't
about
got
it.
no
No.
string now. You talking
that's
about a
the thing.
plastic string?
I talk about it, but then I'll be like, why would I do it?
He'll bitch out.
Why jump out of a plane if it's not on fire?
Yes.
I'll push you.
Yo, I want to do it because it's a fear of mine.
Heights?
Yeah, bro.
Heights are. You're
See, me too, so I kind of get it.
Yo, like
Okay.
I used to work on 99 Hudson in Jersey City, which is the tallest building in the state of New Jersey.
Shout out to Jersey City.
Oh yeah, the Goldman Sachs building.
I don't know what it's,
Yeah,
called.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
99 Hudson. And I would do shifts over there that were like 30 hours long.
Damn.
But I used to tell them, like, yo, look, y'all know I got to take a nap in between. They're like, yo, just go upstairs to the 88th floor. The penthouses are empty. Yeah, I'll bring an air mattress and go sleep up there. And I don't know if y'all know this about skyscrapers. They're built on springs.
They sway.
So they sway.
I know, yeah.
So when you in a fucking top penthouse apartment and there's not, yo, like you feel the building, yo, this shit is mad spooky.
Hell yeah.
So this shit used to scare the shit out of me. And I know that's a
Although that
definite
might
fear.
make you sleep better.
It'll
Like,
rock
yeah,
you to sleep,
right?
Rock you to sleep.
I feel like maybe, you never know.
I don't know.
It was like that in the old World Trade Center.
Yeah.
I used to deliver candy like
word?
on the 80-something floor. Me and Eric, yo, we used to get high as shit, go up there, deliver candy and
Get
shit.
high and go high.
And you know how the windows were kind of small.
I don't
You know what I'm
remember
saying?
it.
I don't know. Well, the windows, you could feel it because you could press your face and you could feel the building swaying. You're like,
Swaying,
wow.
bro. That shit is spooky, bro.
We was up there, boy.
That's the beauty of science and fucking
Architecture,
physics
baby.
and shit.
Architecture.
Shout out to Jersey City, though. Shout out
no
to
doubt.
all the hard-working brothers out there
Facts.
No
busting
doubt.
that construction work, garbage men,
All that, man. Ain't no shame, man.
blue-collar workers,
Yeah.
warehousemen, all my people in the warehouses.
Everybody
Facts.
got a job to do.
Facts.
Shout out to all my nurses, too, man. Shout out to all my male nurses that don't get a lot of love.
Shout out to all them girls that turn RNs.
Oh,
Yo,
they used to
I
be
love
OF.
RNs, bro.
They used to be OF girls. Now they RN girls. I got.
I
it.
love
See, I ain't want to throw shots.
I love
I'll let
alright.
you do it.
It's
girls
alright, it's
in
alright.
scrubs. All my nurses, I love you,
doubt.
first of all. But
Right.
post pictures in scrubs, bro. Post pictures at work. It's
That's like
beautiful.
lingerie for you.
Yeah.
guy.
I love
This
scrubs.
guy. This guy.
Bro.
Sick
Speaking of scrubs, yo, Jada Pinkett's out here
Oh,
wild.
shit. Speaking of this, bang, bang, bang. Shots fired.
She now says this week alone, she has said that her and Will Smith were separated for like 6 or 7 years,
She's out.
and nobody knew. She said Tupac asked her to marry her while he was in jail, and nobody knew. And also Tupac had alopecia, and nobody knew. And she went and got alopecia too, so they could be like, damn.
Alopecia, buddy.
Yeah. She's wilding, bro. I'm tired of her. I'm sick of seeing her.
Wow.
Will Smith, I wish you independence and freedom and happiness and joy.
Independence Day.
Go find that white girl. What was her name?
I was in that
Margot
movie.
Robbie.
Yeah.
You was in Independence Day?
Yeah, bro. 1994. You know,
Yeah?
they shot that shit on 64th
In West New York.
Street.
Yeah. They shot
Oh,
that shit in West New York.
yeah. I remember that. Damn. Oh, no. You see, so Me and Hoffa go back, but we don't know each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in the same
If that
spot.
makes any
Nah,
sense.
he was the older, the bigger homie. You know what I'm saying? I was the little,
Like we probably interacted like what's up? Hey, my bro.
Shout out to Juan Pan.
Juan Pong, big shout out to that. But I was definitely there that day, 64th and
you was
Park.
there?
Yeah, because my man
When
Vic
the
lived
show
on that
was
block.
Oh,
That's why I remember that.
Was
Shout out to
Vic
that.
in the movie?
No, his brother was. I think
Right.
Edgar.
His brother was in the movie.
wild.
Right. I could have sworn I
Edgar
seen him
Alex
in the
was
movie.
in the
Yeah,
movie,
yeah,
which is hilarious. But
I
shout out to
be
that.
telling bitches, watch how you talk to me. I'm a fucking, I'm a superstar.
Hollywood,
I've been in movies,
Hollywood.
baby.
I'm an accredited.
I've been in movies, baby. Respect me.
I'm in them
Put some
blockbusters.
respect on it.
Show me you.
Yeah, bitch.
Pause at
Don't show me a porno either.
220.
Nah, you can show me a porno though.
Shout out to all my porno bitches.
No doubt.
Yeah, for sure.
Y'all got any thoughts on Jada and Will?
Man, she's a mess, bro. She's a
yeah,
mess.
like
Respect
I
to
again,
her, but
yeah, like she just, you know what's funny, right? There's people that actually want to like her, but then they turn around, she turns around and does shit like this and like, fuck Jada.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it real, right? I was thinking about Jada in Puerto Rico while I was in the water, not for this reason.
Yeah,
y'all
I was
remember?
when I was in the shower washing my scrotum,
While I was in the ocean, y'all remember Set It Off?
of course.
And the
Of
character
course.
she played,
Yes.
like the pothead Stony, I think her name was.
Yes.
Was it?
Was that the other girl?
They were all getting high. Actually, this girl used to get high. Was the
Stoney.
one- No, man. Her name was Stoney, but
Yeah.
Queen Latifah was the one that was always getting high in the movie.
No.
I don't
Yes.
even remember.
Yes.
Anyway,
go ahead. So,
I was on the beach with the brother F, and I don't know what kind of weed he lit up, but I got super high. And then I ended up in the ocean, and I ended up talking to the ocean and like bonding with
That's
it.
good. That's
And I started thinking about Stoney, and I was like, damn, that bitch used to get high. I feel like her right now.
this guy.
And I thought it was Jada Pinkett Smith for whatever reason, but
yeah, they all get high.
word of
eventually.
advice.
Yeah.
Get really high and then go in the ocean. And then just talk to the ocean.
I'm even
And
surprised
bond with
you
you.
even got high and went in the ocean because of your fear of the ocean.
I felt
I'm
more
scared of the ocean too,
comfortable.
bro.
Yo, is that I don't deal with large bodies of water, bro.
Yo,
Like,
it's just the darkness.
shower, bathtub,
the
pool,
darkness, bro.
great.
I don't know what's under my feet, and it's a world of shit. We know more about space than
Then
we know
do
about the ocean.
Yeah, that's facts.
exactly. I told brother F, imagine you're in the ocean and you have a drone, and the drone goes like that, and then you get to see your actual size in relation to the ocean.
Of course,
You're
I
a
know.
fucking
It's
piece
nothing.
of
I
sand
felt
to
that.
the ocean.
I felt that when I remember one of the last times I went out to Jamaica. I was on a jet ski and I went mad far.
Oh hell no!
And I was out there and I'm thinking and I stopped. I just stopped.
And
And,
then
I'm
you
there
realize-
floating around.
You're like, wait
and
a
I
minute.
look, and the first of all, you got to understand that the water is
It's different?
super clear. It's
Yes,
beautiful out there.
Different.
So I'm out there and I'm looking and I'm like, yo, what's to stop a great white right now from making me lunch right now? Just swallowing.
You haven't seen those videos that the sharks come and just eat the whole
man,
like
that's
canoe
why.
and shit?
Yo, when I thought
Dog.
that, I was
Nigga out of there.
zoom right back to the fucking shore, yo. Fuck all that, yo.
This nigga put his face in the sand.
No, word of advice. If you see a shark, don't swim away
Don't
from
move.
it.
'Cause
Swim towards it, look them in the eyes, and push them on the nose away from you gently, and they'll leave you alone.
I heard about
Dig
that, but
it.
yeah,
Dig
yeah.
it.
I did it. I did it. Trust me. I've done it.
Yeah, I've done
Yeah.
it. All right.
World-renowned shark fighter.
Yeah, renowned shark fucking shook.
No,
shark
but
shook.
real quick, shout out to the brother F and shout out to Dolly. They were actually
Peace.
with us in Puerto Rico.
That's what's up.
And they hung out a little bit with us, and I wish we could have hung out more. So shout out to them for being there. I hope they had a great time. I appreciate them for being there. That was really beautiful.
Cool.
Shout out to my mom, my sister, my daughter, and my niece. Word of advice to my fellas, yo. Never go clubbing with your daughter.
Oh, duh.
That's... So I got dragged into clubbing, right? Because
Yeah, I know you hate clubs. I was surprised you
I
said
hate
clubbing.
clubs.
Yeah, I know.
totally
I know
hate them.
Yeah.
But I can't let them go alone, right?
What was horrible about it? People trying to kick it to her?
No.
Or just being worried about her disappearing?
Okay, yes, worried about her, but
Yeah.
there's Dottie in my DNA.
So it's in her DNA now.
Yeah. So it's generational. So it's like, ugh. And I can't hate it. So a nigga want to buy her a drink, and I can't, like,
You can't swoop in and be like,
yeah.
"Hey, watch it."
So I gotta tell her, like, yo, be careful, but I want to
Yeah,
slap
yeah,
you.
yeah,
But
yeah.
also, I feel you, because if a bitch came to buy me a drink, I would tip her.
Yeah.
So,
Yo, happy
again,
belated birthday,
thank
by
you,
the
my
way.
brother. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you,
man.
thank you
Happy
guys,
belated.
thank you.
God
But
bless.
word of advice to my fellas, to my girl dads, to my
Yeah.
uncles, never go clubbing with these children, bro.
With these children.
Also, because we were with my niece, who's only 20 years old, we had to go to the club that was 18 and over.
Ooh.
Yo.
Even worse.
Yeah.
Yo, but look.
These young kids don't believe in haircuts at all. A fade don't exist in 2023. I look crazy with
you know
the little
funny,
shortcut.
right? The other day I went to pick up pizza for my son and my daughter, right? So I'm there waiting outside and I see this goofy ass kid fucking with the goofy sideshow
with the
Bob
sideshow
haircut.
Bob hair.
Yo, my man looks in the car and he does this. I was like,
fluff it up.
I was like, you fucking goof. Fuck. Get a cut.
He didn't whip out the song.
Oh man, I was like, yo.
But you see, having a thotty in your blood and then talking to my son, my son be tripping. Cause my son was dealing with this female.
How old is your son?
17.
Amen, and God bless him.
Yo,
bro.
thank you. My son was dealing with this female that had surgery, right? And
like the surgery?
No, not the
just
BBLs.
a surgery.
No.
Okay,
just a surgery, right?
No, you gotta ask in 2023,
and
bro.
fucking, she had something done where she just couldn't move much, right? So she invites him over. He's like, yo, but what we gonna do? Like, you can't do shit. She's like, this mouth still work. I'm like, that's my boy, man.
That's
you know what I'm saying? Like,
great female.
That's a great female. Salute to that female.
Hell yeah,
She's a
big
keeper.
props to her.
She's a keeper.
Yeah,
shout out to him.
Way to use her mind.
I would have heard that. I would have been like, I'm on my way, bitch. Nah.
Yeah, my son be on it. And nigga be like, Dad, I just got the sloppy toppy right now. I'm like, that's my boy.
He be calling you and shit?
Okay,
Yeah, that's what's up.
Thank you for saying that, because that goes to show the perfect difference of boy dad.
Oh,
and girl
of
dad.
course.
If I had a son and he came home like, I just got the sloppy toppy.
Yeah,
I'm
but
like,
your daughter's not
boy.
gonna call you and be like, I just gave the sloppy toppy.
But now
Imagine if she did.
But now let's look at the difference.
You have a heart
though.
attack.
Let's look at the difference, though, right? I don't know because I don't have no daughters, but there must be some sense of connection. Like with my son, there's a lot of testosterone in between.
Right.
Like we done had
It's almost battle.
standoffs.
Yeah.
We done had
Oh,
standoffs.
yes.
Where I literally understood that at this moment right now, it could change the entire history,
Forever.
the entire future of our path.
Yeah.
Because I really feel like going up top on him.
Yeah.
And if I do, I'm never gonna come back from that.
There's no coming back.
I hit my son one time in the head. I punched him in his head. He was totally out of line. He never disrespected me again, but I knew it was like, let me punch him on the top of his head, not as hard as I can.
Yeah.
Instead of punching
Just
him
a
in
little
his mouth.
cocotazo.
Yeah, like, yo, nigga, I'll still go up top on you.
Yeah.
But it took me 3 years to come back from that punch.
Right.
3 years. And I didn't knock him out.
Now, when
I
you
didn't hit
say
him to hurt
to
him.
come back, you mean like internally?
Yeah, like
or you and
emotionally,
him?
like emotionally.
All
Because you
around,
know,
yo.
when you hit your kids, not that I've ever hit my kids. I might have hit my.
Nah,
I might have
I
did the same
used
thing
to
to my
whip my
daughter
kids'
once. I
ass.
might
I
have
did
just
that to
go
my
with us
son.
on the head.
Nah, I used to whip
But yo,
their
you
ass.
feel a little guilty afterwards. Like you carry it within you for a while as well.
I
feel
do.
me?
I'll be honest. I do. But at the same time, I always think of my grandfather, man. My grandfather was, how could I put it? He was old school, yo. Like straight up and down old school. He was his father was Muslim. So you can imagine what that was. You know what I'm saying? So like at the table when we sat down to eat, nobody could talk, yo. You had to sit, eat your food, and that was it. And
So
nobody
no
could
interaction with each other?
very minimal, yo. He wanted silence. And you only got up after he got up. You know what I'm saying? So like,
But that doesn't sound like a Muslim thing. That just sounds like a controlling ass nigga thing.
anyway, so I remember like he would hit us, you know what I'm saying? He would hit me and the twins and shit, like discipline us. And then he would always say, he's like, trust me, you're gonna understand what this is about when you're older, and I get it.
Yeah.
Cause I do feel it.
Right.
I do feel it.
Yo,
when,
no,
like,
there was
But that should be like a last resort.
absolutely. No. That should never be the first thing. Yeah.
Can't be.
Yeah, I wouldn't say the first thing, but I'd say don't run from it.
No, I mean,
and
it's
then-
like a fight.
And then
Sometimes you gotta fight.
Yeah.
And then the older they get, I think the more that they have gained somewhat of a respect for themselves, right? Because as kids, as babiys, it's not to whip their ass. It's definitely to teach them a little spanking to let them know when verbally they're not communicating.
Yeah.
But during their adolescence, I remember hitting my kids and then like kind of like shedding tears. And one thing that I remember for my stepfather, I never met my father a day in my life, right? So my stepfather used to try to discipline me, but my stepfather never told me I love you until like maybe like 5 years ago. Right. So you try to discipline me, but you show me no love. That grows a lot of hatred.
Yeah.
Right.
So with my
Resent,
kids, when I whip their ass, then I will hug them while I'm like in tears or emotional and tell them how much I love them.
Yeah.
So it kind of was the balance of discipline to love. Like I'm not disciplining you because I hate you. I'm disciplining you because I love you.
Because I love you, actually.
And you know that
I
I love you, and these are the reasons. And being very articulate in how I communicate with them and express to them, this is why I whipped your ass. And if you do it again, I'm gonna do it again. But I love you.
But
and
it's
I'd
for
rather
this.
You,
Yeah.
So I think that's very important for our kids because this world is.
But I don't want to shit on your stepdad, right? Because remember that previous to our generation, yo, there was no like emotional expression from men. You feel me? Like there wasn't a lot of people saying I love you or whatever. A lot of men were similar to what you described. Yeah. Shut the fuck up. And when I say move, we move. Yeah, so shout out to him.
No doubt.
And shout out to you for, you know, evolving the cycle. You know what I'm saying?
Let me finish this off with my stepfather. My stepfather, I've never seen him a day in my life come into the house drunk. I've never seen him scream at my mother. I never seen him, the lights go off because he didn't pay the bills. Yeah. He always worked overtime. So, and I've never seen him be disrespectful to my sisters, call them bitches, none of that shit. So I just think that he was too young and didn't come from, came from a certain cloth that didn't know how to communicate with a stepchild. Let alone especially a man to man that he didn't identify with. I'm completely a different complexion. I'm told different culture, kind of. Like, we're both Latinos, but, you know, I'm so involved in the hip-hop world. He's around Italians. It was
culture clash.
Yeah, we were both from Brooklyn, but he was on one side of Brooklyn, I was on the other side of Brooklyn. And I just think that he didn't know how to handle that. But as a man and who he'd been to my family, I got nothing but respect for him for that.
Shout out to him.
Yeah, shout out to my stepfather.
Absolutely. I want to get into the new Bad Bunny. Before I do, though, I want to shout out to my niece, right? So before today's show, my niece came and picked me up in her car with my other niece.
You're talking about?
Ash
yeah.
Came to pick me up in her car. Shout out to Ash.
Shout out to her.
She was with Envy in the passenger seat, and she wanted to go get her car wash, her first car wash.
Nice.
So she needed me to go with her. And I get in the car, and they're playing New A Boogie, but it samples Mary J. I Love You.
Okay.
Right?
That's the vibe now.
Yeah.
So I get in the car, and it was just like a realization, or like no pun intended, but like a prophecy come true, right? Do you remember being small or being young and showing your adults a song and them shitting on it and being like, but that's just this song.
Yeah.
That's just a sample from this. And then they show you the original and you're like, but that shit ain't as hot as my version.
Yeah, of course.
So I went through that in real time today and almost had like a realization of the generations have shifted.
Damn, I'm old.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
for lack of better phrasing. Yeah,
that's what you realize.
First of all, let me say something. I'm mad at both of y'all niggas, bro.
Why?
Y'all niggas both still got hair on top of your heads, bro.
Oh,
I don't like that shit.
It's Beijing.
I don't like that shit, bro. I don't like that shit.
No, but don't curse us.
Yeah, I don't like that shit. One bit, bro.
On me, Ricky Bobby.
My shit thinning back here. That's why I had to let it grow more, so I could comb it over like Donald Trump.
I am holding on
like that shit
by a thread.
How about Brother F? He got enough hair for all of us, bro.
He got enough hair for like 8 people.
To share for us.
I don't like that shit.
Oh, man. No, you got to go to, damn, I just saw a commercial the other day for some shit. Some website you get in, you put it on.
That moment passed,
and it comes back.
That moment passed me. I can't fake
it.
Do the tattoo shape up.
Hell no.
No, don't do that, bro.
Yo, I saw niggas down south in jail with that shit. They tattooed this.
Yeah,
but they
that's
were
crazy.
Yo, it was.
Damn, shout out to my brother, though, because he did that.
Yeah, he did that.
But
he
still,
did do that. He did do that.
It's all good.
But it looks hard on him, though. He got it off.
I think because he's darker.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're darker, I think it looks okay. The lighter you are.
If I was bald, I couldn't do that shit.
To each his own, man.
No. But shout out to all my bald people, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
We all get there eventually. Yeah, exactly.
Bald heads.
I'm going to get to George Jefferson.
Wow.
Oh, you going to rock with the bozo?
Opposite fade.
Yeah.
You gonna
opposite fade.
Then I'm going to get braids on it and everything.
He going to go with the bozo look.
Real quick, before we get into Brother Prophecy, a.k.a. Big Proph, a.k.a. Hoffa, host of Jammed Up Journals, host of Hoffa TV, host of the Urban Land Awards.
Super host.
Real quick, new Bad Bunny. Anybody heard it?
Nope.
I heard 2 or 3 songs. I was surprised that there's only 2 actual reggaeton songs on the whole album.
Right, so
he's like going. He took a step away from that.
Yes,
right now, like that's his big departure right now. From I get it though. He's going on his shit now. He's like I don't belong to just this.
Right. Well, the album sounds angry.
It does, yo.
He sounds very aggressive.
Those first 6 minutes.
Yeah.
Fam. Like
I don't know if somebody pissed him off or he's just talking his shit.
He lost me when he started kissing dudes on stage, man. Respect to anybody who goes that way, but
right.
He lost me.
So the newest video got some cowboys like grinding on each other. So I go.
And that's the cover of the album too. It's like a drawing of like a cowboy on a bucky.
Yeah. But you know he's a perfect example of like 2023. Yo.
Youth.
Like
no
kids
doubt.
are Shout out to them because they have this freedom of expression that we never had. We always had to like maintain a certain level of composure and presentation. And these kids don't give a fuck, bro. I know this for a fact because they wear the dustiest Air Force Ones. So they don't care about nothing in life at all. Nothing matters to them.
No haircuts, no nice
So
sneakers,
if they want to kiss
nothing.
boys and whatever.
Let me tell you something. You ever heard of kayfabe?
Kayfabe is a wrestling term.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you know what it entails?
Yeah, kayfabe is like the storyline. Like you don't break kayfabe. You don't break the.
It's basically your character.
Yeah, the wall.
So that's what I think we were doing in the 90s. Kayfabe.
Of course. We had to be tough though in the 90s.
Yeah. Just like even our music was kayfabe.
Oh, of course, bro.
Now it's more. Who was? I credit Kanye West with deading kayfabe.
Good example. Yeah, he was very true to himself, right?
Yeah.
So
grunge
that's what's
and
going on
drugs
now.
and shit,
Everybody's very true to themselves and doesn't really hide anything behind the curtain, which makes the older generation a little uncomfortable because we don't really want to know all that shit. It's none of our business, and we don't want to necessarily see it.
Because we lived differently. We lived in our culture and the way we were brought up, as well as you. We were brought up. That's our business. You don't tell other people your business. Like you don't tell people.
And you had to be tough, bro. You had to be tough to survive. Like, yo, the 90s and 80s was such a crazy time, bro.
Yo,
like,
I think that this generation got to remember back then we didn't have as many cameras every single place. So it was a lot more opportunities for niggas to.
Well, not only cameras, we didn't have so many options.
Yeah, you always talk about that.
Entertainment options and shit to keep your attention. So you had to go outside and find fucking entertainment and shit to do. And, you know, if it was kick the can or fucking what was the shit on the floor with the tapas and shit, like, you had to make shit up, bro. You had to fucking create. What's the shit? 1, 2, 3, red light and stupid. Yo, you might not even have
Coco Livio. Y'all ever heard of Coco Livio?
Yeah.
No.
Hot peas and butter?
Yeah. Hot peas and butter, yeah.
Y'all know about hot peas and butter?
Yeah. So you had to create and invent and come up with some shit. Now these kids don't got to move and they can fucking pass a whole day on Netflix and whatever.
I do too.
And they order food on Uber Eats and it comes to you. You don't even got to get out of bed. At least we had to get up and get the phone and order the pizza and then
go get it and shit, right?
Now, you know what's funny? When you know us in our generation, we go like, yo, the phone. Kids don't do that.
No, now to them it's this. Yeah, that's so crazy. That don't even look like a phone.
Yeah, it looks like you're trying.
To us.
To us, yeah. But then again, we used to talk through a can with a fucking wire on it and be like, wow, we're in the future.
Do you remember having the long cord from the kitchen?
On the
phone?
In
your room, go to sleep on a phone with a chick.
That shit that if you had to escape out of your house, you could use that shit to
how about
yourself out of your house and shit.
Mom, I'm on the phone.
Salte el teléfono, que te gusta el teléfono. You're like, oh, fuck.
Hold on, let me do it 3 ways.
Hate y'all. Busy signals, yo. That shit don't exist no more. Busy signals. Shout out to that, man. Shout out to Bad Bunny. So another thing I noticed about the album, I don't know if you noticed it, in comparison to the last album, besides the tone of it being more aggressive, it's very like sample driven.
Yeah, there's a lot of it seems like, you know, I'll be honest, yo, you know what it kind of
seems like a hip hop album.
Yeah, a little bit, and it kind of reminded me a lot of the production, you know what it kind of reminded me, not sample driven, it reminded me of Justice League.
Shout out to Justice League.
But Justice League samples.
They sample a little bit. They do a lot of their own instrumentation.
So it reminded me actually of the new Drake album. Have y'all heard that?
I heard a little bit of it.
So that album also is very sample heavy, which I don't necessarily associate with a Drake album.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was dope. The Drake album is alright. It's not great nor terrible. I enjoyed the samples actually.
And on that album too, he sounds pissed off.
Who? Drake?
Drake.
He's having a bitch fit. He'll be okay. But shout out to Bad Bunny.
That's your boy, yo.
Shout out to Drake. Y'all know what I listen to in Puerto Rico?
Efrain.
Puff Daddy album.
I knew it.
Over and over. Shout out to that, man. Speaking of music and of albums, my brother Big Proph, aka Prophecy.
What's poppin'?
I recently saw that you had an album.
No doubt.
But I don't believe you've re-released it.
Nah, man. So, you know, I was always a person that never really adapted to the digital wave when I should have. And, bro, I put out a what I consider a very classic album. I had multiple platinum producers on there, and I didn't take advantage of that wave because this was around 2007 to 2010, right? Facebook just came out.
Right at the beginning of the digital wave.
Right in the beginning of it, you know what I'm saying? And I had a full produced album, recorded by my man Pete Thought. Shout out to the Mudslingers. And I just didn't take advantage of it. And right after I did the album, I went on a little press run, a little tour in Texas, and then I moved to Puerto Rico.
Where were you when you recorded the album?
Right next door.
Right here. Hey, big shout out to the brother Professor next door.
Mudslingers was popping.
Shout out to the Mudslingers.
Yeah, shout out to Ray Cuts too. You know, Lone Star,
Yes,
Pete Thought. They held me down during the process of that album, gave me unlimited amount of studio time. I was impressed. That album took me years to make, a lifetime to make, really, because it was my first album.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
But I was impressed on I got 6 months, or I got 2 hours in the studio. Yeah. It was just like, let's get a masterpiece.
Right.
And I really feel, even when I listen to the album this day, I still feel it's a masterpiece. But I didn't take advantage of the digital wave, and I didn't do the best that I could. Now, we shot some videos for it. Shout out to Duke the God from Dipset. He was a part of the album. We did the Hoffa at a Player. We did that shit in 07, 08. I had Duke the God in there. Shout out to Cousin Bang. We released that video. I did a commercial for T-Mobile for the Sidekick phone, produced by my man Cito. Ray Cut shot that too. We shot it in Times Square. It was dope. We released that. We released another video, but I didn't release the whole entire album in its entirety. You know what I'm saying?
Not even on physical?
Oh, yeah, no, on physical. Yeah.
But not on digital.
Yeah, I sold thousands.
I got a question. You said you had unlimited studio time and all that. Is there anything that didn't make the album that you still have, or they might have?
So I had.
You ever thought of re-releasing that instead of the album itself?
So what? All right, so we was working on the Mr. Hoffa album, and right after that, I released another album called Mr. and Mrs. Hoffa, which was like a little spin-off of Mr. and Mrs. Smith, right? Yeah. And I did that album more towards girls, right? And I guess it was maybe around that wave where, music was getting more directed towards females or just having that balance. And half of the album is like reggaeton, and the other half is like R&B type shit. But it was all rapping in English. It wasn't me rapping in Spanish. But the project that I was working on during the Mr. Hoffa album, all the other cuts were going to go to my other album that was going to be called Welcome to the Jungle. So that album was a little bit more hard, right? The Mr. Hoffa album was a mainstream album. I had big cuts on there, you know what I'm saying? Right. Like just even imagining, I did a commercial for T-Mobile.
Exactly, yeah.
Those are some mainstream kind of topics. Yeah. So the Welcome to the Jungle album, which is Jungle Jersey, which is why I used the Mufasa Hoffa. Mufasa was the king of the jungle, Jersey king of the, you know what I mean? So those joints were a lot more harder. But when that shit happened, I released the album 2009, 2010.
The Mr. Hoffa album.
The Mr. Hoffa. Then the Mr. and Mrs. Hoffa album I released 2011. 2012, I went to jail. When I got out, 2013, I ended up moving to Texas. So if y'all remember, during 2012, the sound of hip-hop shifted. It went from the typical boom-bap kind of beats to now it's trap. Right. So I remember being locked up. And you would be in your cell or wherever it was in the unit, and you would rap to shit that you listened to on the radio. But there was a lot of beats that you couldn't rap to at that time, and it was I remember everybody in jail be like, "Yo, but them shits don't hit the same. Yeah. I can't spit my old verses or my regular verses to this." So when I had got out, and
you were in Texas, right?
No, I was locked up out here.
Oh, you were locked up out here? Okay.
Out here. I was locked up in Texas, but this time was out here. This time, okay. So, when I got out. And then I went to Texas. I had all my old material, which is maybe 2-3 years old. It's not super old, but it's 2-3 years old.
But in the music sense, that shit could have been 10 years
outdated.
Outdated. So now I'm in the clubs, right? Because I started working at strip clubs, and the whole sound, especially down south, was all trap.
Right.
Trap took
Bouncy
over crazy. Yeah. So none of my joints was hitting at the club. Right. So I kind of felt like, all right, man, this shit is not working right now. I got to get into the studio and get it attached to this new sound. And to be honest with you, I just got lost in the sauce, bro. I went knee deep into the strip club game, bro.
Right.
I left music alone for years.
Yeah.
Years.
Wow.
But
it's a little bit of a regret, but
the strip club game was profitable.
Oh, super profitable.
And helped your life.
Yeah.
It gave me wisdom. I'll say that. It gave me wisdom because
it gave you something.
To be honest with you, bro, I don't know how I'm not dead from STD or overdose.
God bless.
I'm dead serious.
Oh, my life's dreams.
And to all these kids out there, bro, be careful.
Well, not
bro,
the STDs.
This shit could be real, bro. You could wake up, having burn when you pee. Or you could not wake up, and that shit is real. I don't know how I'm alive, bro, through the blessings of the Most High.
Amen to that. So now let's jump back to the future. Now we're in 2023, and you still have your music.
Yeah, of course.
Would you consider re-releasing it? Or I guess a better question is, why wouldn't you re-release it?
Yeah.
I guess for me, it's always been about tapping into the right fan base and not giving my shit to people that would not appreciate it, right? Because if I have this album right now and I'm gaining a bunch of new fans and new followers or whatever have it, right? And these followers are not really going to tap into that sound. They're more into another sound that's going on currently, 2023. So I would feel that maybe this would be the best strategy to tap into the fan base that are my peers that grew up when I grew up and being able to market my music to them opposed to marketing them into new fans that are just into what's today. Because they would really appreciate my music.
That's a great point. But I wonder if you market it as what it is.
Yeah, I mean,
might it be a different reaction? Like if you tell a younger kid, and they might not even listen to it. Who knows? This is music that I recorded X amount of years ago. I'm re-releasing it. This is not new music. I didn't record it today. It's not gonna sound like today.
Yeah.
But it's my music. I don't want to fucking put it out.
No, I think that all the opportunities are there. I think I just want to lock in with my core audience and then be able to give them everything that I got. You know what I'm saying? Right now, I know that I can't feed steak to a baby, so let me give them baby food.
Right.
Once I will them in, then
But the process has begun to eventually re-release all this music.
Absolutely.
Now, would you consider reshooting videos to older songs?
That's interesting. I haven't even thought about that, to be honest with you.
Right. I've always thought, why don't artists do that?
Like
if it
shoot
makes sense
videos
to
now
me,
for older videos?
Yeah.
I mean,
if
for older
Raekwon
songs?
dropped a video right now for a song off Cuban Links
That never dropped.
that never came out.
Well, you know who did
that
that?
should have been pretty
You
dope.
know who did that?
Who did that?
N.O. Nori.
Oh, he did, because I saw a Blood Money video and I actually have it in my YouTube likes. It was recorded maybe 5 years ago or something.
Yeah. So not a bad idea. Yo, you know what's the crazy thing? I always feel like I'm on N.O.'s heels in the sense of like, thinking I'm about to do something that's never been done and be like, damn, Nori did that.
And Nori did it. Nori, as much as I love Nori, because I love Nori, and I've told the story before that my daughter would have been named Nori had she been born a boy.
Right.
He's a trendsetter, bro. He's an uncredited trendsetter.
Yeah.
A lot of shit he did first.
A lot of shit he did or said.
Yeah, and it blew up.
Yeah.
Speaking of sayings, real quick, did you invent Hoffa?
No.
Did you get it from somewhere?
Yes.
Who's the inventor of Hoffa?
I don't know.
Like Hoffa at me.
Yeah, so Hoffa, in 2004, I started working with a group, right? They didn't have no name. They were just a bunch of young kids from West New York, some from like
Was Bugs in the group?
Bugs was in the group.
Maple Hoodie? Okay, because that's the only other, not the only other, but that's the other person I think of when I hear Hoffa. It's Bugs, actually. So I was wondering if y'all ran in the same circle,
so,
who might have.
And this guy,
so
what's
they
his name? YP.
And YP, but he's in the book circle.
Yeah, he's in the book circle.
Hector. Young Paul.
Yeah.
Not too sure. Maybe
by face.
Yeah.
He's a rapper. He's a Christian rapper now.
Yeah.
Anyway, shout out to him. He just dropped a dope album.
Did you listen to it? It's dope, right?
No, you told me it was dope, so I co-signed it.
take
Shut
my
the
word
fuck up.
So these kids used to come to my studio. I used to have a studio downstairs,
Right.
And I used to charge out of it, and they were like really unpolished at the time. This is no disrespect; they know what it is.
Yeah. Everybody starts.
Exactly.
Nobody starts as Jada.
And you know what's one thing that I definitely I took my own horn, bro. I gave a lot of chances to a lot of artists for their first records. Like there's plenty of artists that I was just a part of their first recordings.
Right.
So they didn't know what they was doing as far as the studio. They knew how to rap, but they didn't know about the studio bars and songs and shit. So I started putting it together, and we became like I was like the extended big homie of their team. Right. I named the group. I showed them how to put songs together, and I would do choruses for them. And they would always be in there talking about Hoffa. Yo, Hoffa at me. So I remember listening to Kanye West did the H to the Izzo, V to the Izzy. And when he produced that song for Jay-Z, he called himself Mr. H to the Izzo.
Uh-huh.
So me doing this song called Hoffa to play, I was like, well, since I'm creating this song now, I'm Mr. Hoffa. And then that's where it came, you know what I mean? So it was around 2005 where I really started embodying Mr. Hoffa.
Right. Shout out to that, man. Shout out to Bugs. Shout out to Maple Hoodie. Shout out to YP as well.
Big facts.
Shout out to Justin D Live. So you feel similar to how I feel, in that you mentored some of the next generation that is now.
That's for a fact.
Like fucking lit, bro. Shout out to these new lit next generation.
Yeah, I know for a fact, you know what I'm saying, as far as like definitely from Union City and up, you know what I'm saying? Some of Jersey City, you know, like my brother D-Mob. I don't know if y'all familiar with D-Mob.
I don't know that name.
He was a super, man, I heard a lot of people saying that, you know, D-Mob would have been what Al B. Al is today.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But,
shout out to Al B. Al. But D-Mob, unfortunately, got killed November 27, 2007. He got shot in the head. But he was on his way up, you know what I'm saying? And he was an artist where it's like, you know, I gave him his first records or one of his first records, taught him how to make music, you know what I mean? There was plenty of artists. Shout out to my man Alex Kaiser, Masacre Musical, you know what I mean? His first songs was with me, you know what I mean? I would put him in the studio and then I see him what he did with De La Ghetto and took off.
And June, you know what I mean? Shout out to DJ June.
Shout out to DJ. And that's crazy because I see where like, you know, I was a part of Kaiser's first experiences. Kaiser was a part of putting on DJ June, and now DJ June and I are coming back in full circle. So you know that was
that's how the world works, bro.
Yeah, no doubt.
Shout out to that, man. Shout out to June. New Redman mixtape dropping soon. Jack Boy Beats.
Yeah.
New videos are out.
All the freestyles.
New
I
song,
just did a review on it.
Yes, Hoffa has a review on it, and there's another new song with Vinny and Sam the Villain and someone else. Video is coming out. Album is coming out. So shout out to June. He's got a lot of dope things going on, man. Big things, dope things. So you're in the strip clubs. Now you're in Texas.
Texas, man. Shout
Strip
out to
clubs.
the TX. Yeah, man. I love Texas, man.
Shout out to Texas, bro.
Yeah,
Imagine those strip clubs. Did I ever have ever gone to a strip club in Texas? I don't think so. I've been to strip clubs in Oklahoma, and Oklahoma's not
I went to Windstar in Oklahoma.
Yeah,
lost some money.
Oklahoma's not.
Lost some money.
They lost some money.
Oh, shout out to the casino in Puerto Rico. I won some money and then proceeded to lose it all. So shout out to that.
That's how it works.
all back.
The house always eats.
So you was doing the strip club thing out there. Now, what exactly were you doing in the strip club? Promotion, managing,
So I
or a
started
little
off.
bit of everything?
I started off as a floor host, man, just at the bottom. You know what I mean? Shout out to Temptations in Fort Worth, Texas. RGM 150 gave me an opportunity and plugged me in with some people. They heard me rap, and then the next thing you know, they're like, "Yo, we want you to work for us." I'm like, "I bet." You know, let's go. I mean, the reason I went out to Texas was to work at the strip club. You know, we got lost in hanging out, and I didn't get the job right away because nobody pushed for it. But then when they heard me rap, they were like, you know, they wanted me to work. So I started working. I was just a floor host, right, which entails of just like being on the floor, making sure the guests are seated, meet, seat, and greet.
Right.
Making sure the girls are doing. You kind of the floor host. I feel is like every position without the pay.
Right,
you know what I mean? They make you do everything. You're a security, you're fucking house mom, you're the bartender, you're a bar back, you're every fucking thing. So it was a great position to start off because I feel like I was in the boot camp of it.
Right. You learn every department.
Learned everything the hard way. You got to go out there and do street promotion. You got to promote on social media. So you got to do everything. So I started off as that, but I was out there. I had transferred my probation because I told you I had just got out of jail. Then I went out there. I went out there, transferred my probation. I had a big-ass house. I would have bitches over my crib every fucking night. Bro, I wouldn't go to sleep until like 3 in the afternoon, take a couple-hour nap, go back to work. And my probation officer showed up to my house one day. And he just saw like fucking bitches and bottles. And it was my third violation. I tested dirty. I showed up at my house. They saw all kinds of shit. Yeah, I was tripping. But
you were young.
I mean, younger.
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 Anything before today's young.
Yeah, no doubt. So, you know, they violated me. So I came back out here. When I came back out here, I always was back and forth to Philly. Philly's another home for me, right? So I went to go see the Big Bro out there. Shout out to Rock the Block. And I was like, yo, the company I was working for was a branch off of a mother company called RCI. RCI is Rick's Cabaret Incorporated. Rick's Cabaret Incorporated owned 11 different franchises of strip clubs that catered to every demographic you could think of, from white to Spanish to black. Temptations that I was working for was for Mexicans. That was for the essays. You would have white people come in there, black people come in there, but it was for the
majority.
Yeah, the majority was
so when I got violated from probation, came back home, went to go fuck with my big bro out in Philly. I was like, yo, RCI has a branch out here, and it's called Onyx. So I fucking called Onyx over the phone, and I don't know how. And if y'all know Onyx, every rapper talks about it, and every song is lit.
But they talk about the Onyx in ATL, right?
Well, they talk about all the Onyxes, really. You know what I'm saying? Now, the Onyx in ATL is the only one that's not part of the franchise. So you have Onyx in Philly, you have Onyx in North Carolina, in Dallas, and in Houston. All those Onyxes are owned by RCI.
RCI, right.
Now, the one in Atlanta is not owned by RCI, right?
Okay.
But it's still Onyx. So I don't know if they took it from us or us took it from them. I really don't know.
Right.
But regardless, Onyx and Philly still got that same vibe, that same turn up. I don't know how the fuck I ended up getting hired over the phone, which was crazy because everybody would want to be at this club.
Right.
It's hard to even get in on some nights. For me to get hired as a manager, like that shit is damn near unheard of. But what I had hit him with was, so this is what I found out later through my sister, Jada Smith, who she helps me out with some PR work. So what happened is that when I reached out to Onyx, I told them, I said, hey, man, listen, my name is so-and-so. You know, I'm coming out from Texas working with the families. I kept on incorporating that word family, right? To make them feel like there's some kind of connection that they already need to just establish. What they thought is that I was a corporate spy. So they thought that I was being sent by the corporate
to watch what they're doing,
sneak in. So they treated me with open arms.
Right. They spoiled you.
Yeah. So I was just like, I didn't know about none of this until like a couple months later when I got tight with my sister, Raina. And she's like, you know they think you're a spy, right?
Yeah.
Like, fuck you.
A spy?
That's what you mean. She's like, yeah, you know, so-and-so thinks because, you know, you come from the corporate. And I knew, like, I don't know him like that, but I knew the CEO, which is Eric Langan. And I didn't know him like friends, but, you know, I name dropped like a motherfucker. And a car. I was mentioning all the high-ups.
Yeah.
And they were like, okay, this nigga got to be official because in Philly, it's so separated from everybody else. Like in Texas, you got a bunch of clubs that are owned by RCI.
Right.
In Philly,
so the
there's no other clubs that are RCI. So nobody knows these corporate people besides the general manager.
Where is
the general
RCI
manager
headquarters?
I believe it's in Manhattan.
Oh, okay.
Yes. I believe, no, you know what?
It might be in Texas.
It might be in Texas.
I was going to say,
even though the owner lives in Manhattan, headquarters, I think, might be in Dallas.
Right.
Yeah, I think the checks come out of Dallas. But, so nobody knew about them. So for me to be name dropping all these names, being an East Coast nigga, they were like, all right, you're not from Texas. You're from out here, you know.
Yeah.
Even though I say Jersey, New York.
Yeah, of course,
right?
automatically.
So I guess they, you know, it made all the sense that I was a spy. You know what I mean? So they let me in with open arms, and I took full advantage of it.
I was just gonna say,
I made my
you
bones
should
in
take
there.
advantage of it.
I made my bones in there, and I grew up I grew a crazy relationship with the general manager. Shout out to Nine Nickels, 360 Media. That's the big bro right there. I appreciate you, Nine Nickels, for everything you've done for me. I appreciate Jada Smith. She's an amazing PR. She does PR work now for C's of Black Ink. So if y'all ever see me with C's or Young Jock, that's because of Raina. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Raina.
She's in Atlanta right now doing her thing. Hit her up on Instagram, Jada Smith. What's up, baby?
Jay Raina, what's good? Come up.
Yeah, that's my sister.
So now you're doing you get in Onyx in Philly, and it's lit. And they think you're a spy, so they're giving you the fucking red carpet treatment.
No doubt. And then so Nine Nickels from 360 Media, he is the general manager of Onyx, right? And he owned an event called the Poleathon.
Okay.
So the Poleathon is like the Olympics for strippers.
I was going to say,
The Olympics, my nigga. You see every stripper from every city come out and being part of this competition.
What do they make them do? Like, I gotta hear this.
Well, they all have their own kind of like performance, right?
So, like what they're good at.
Yeah, so not even what they're good at is they have their own set, right? So it's like, you know, an artist comes on stage, like say Dougie Fresh. He's gonna hit you with a beatbox trick.
Dance.
He's gonna hit you with the freestyle. He's gonna do both. You know, Rozelle will sing and beatbox at the same time. So they got their own kind of, you know, performance. So these girls have their own performances. Some are solo, some are two, and they do double, you know, the surfboard.
Synchronized fucking stripping.
Exactly. Some girls come out there with snakes. Shout out to Posh. Shout out to my man Ghost too. They come out there with snakes wrapped around them, climb up 30-foot poles. Other girls put fucking the sparklers from the bottles on their heels and swing around and get shit. And, you know what I mean?
Shit, yeah.
Some girls damn near fly. You see some girls is flying. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
But that's what the Poleathon was, and we took it from city to city. We went to every major city with the show, and what was really like beautiful for me just to be a part of it, bro, is that when Effin' Vodka came out with 50 Cent, 50 was going from club to club promoting Effin' Vodka.
Right.
Now, I was the #1 seller of Effin' Vodka at Onyx.
In Philly.
And then Onyx in Philly was the #1 seller in the state of Pennsylvania. So I look at it in terms, I sold the most bottles in Pennsylvania for 50. 50, you owe me a check. So 50 ended up having a relationship with Nah Nichols in buying a certain amount of cases of Effin' Vodka. Right? And when he did that, I guess my big homie was just like, all right, cool. I'll commit to buying these cases, but you got to commit to coming through and hosting the Poleathon.
Right.
So now 50 was the official host of Poleathon for like a year and a half without the big homie having to pay for every fucking appearance by just committing to a certain amount of cases every month.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it turned out to be a super win. Not to mention Effin' Vodka would sponsor the Poleathon and give money just so we could promote their brand all over, whether it's bar mats, balloons,
all types of shit.
glasses, all kinds of little brand merchandising, product placement.
Right. Because they were still a brand launching.
Yeah,
in
exactly.
essence.
And they needed the help. You know what I'm saying? And who else better than Onyx that's going state to state promoting this Poleathon that at that time nobody had done. We saw a lot of copycats after that coming up with other names and the Polympics and this and that, but we was the original Poleathon with Nah Nichols, 360 Media out of Onyx and Philly, man.
Shout out to that. Shout out to the Poleathon. Absolutely. Shout out to 50 and shout out to Effin' Vodka as well. Definitely out there.
Shout out to Branson.
Mingling with the people.
King's Path.
Shout out to the original Branson?
Well, nah, we talk about Branson. You know, 50 got the
vodka, right?
Yeah, he got cognac. Yeah. And then
Effin' is the vodka.
He got champagne, which is King's Path. Nobody knows how to pronounce the real name. Le something.
Yeah, I didn't even know he had champagne.
Yeah, he got King's Path.
Yeah, shout out to 50, bro. He's always got his hand in something.
Super, yo, and that's the only brother that I have seen, bro. I've been around the best of them, bro. And 50 is the only one that I would see that would just be like, yo, stay right here. And he'll go by himself into the entire crowd, bro.
Right.
Yo, I was talking about that. I was talking about that with my homegirl. I was
that.
like, 50 is the only dude that, yo, he rolls dolo, yo. He don't roll with nobody. And
No. I'm not going to say that. I will say that he rolls with a team, but he knows how to separate himself to be an individual.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, not to be.
His, like, a lot of times you see a lot of people like that are in, a lot of rappers and shit that are in his position. They have a squad, and a squad that everybody knows and shit. Like, I mean, I understand that he still rolls with a team, but not for nothing. Like you said, when I think of 50, I think of just 50. I don't think of anybody else.
Yeah, because
you know
he moves so thorough by himself.
Like, you think of Nas, you think of Jungle, you think of Jay-Z, you think of Bleak and Tata and them. You know what I'm saying? 50 is just 50, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's a one-man team.
But that's because 50's a fucking asshole, bro. Shout out to 50.
You know, the other thing is that 50's solid nigga, like, and I'm talking about physically. This nigga got his weight right. He knows how to, you know, he's a Golden Glove fighter. You know what I'm saying? So I look at it as like, bro,
he can move around.
Yeah, you can, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, a nigga steps
he can
defend yourself thoroughly. You know what I mean? Opposed to somebody who don't got that kind of weight on them. They don't even know what to look for when somebody's plotting on them. You know, they vulnerable to a lot of attacks. And 50's a person who, you know, he comes from that cloth, so he sees it coming a mile away and is able to handle himself thoroughly. You know what I mean? Shout out to Big Mike, one of his securities, and shout out to Renee, his manager.
No doubt.
Shout out to that. Then talk to me about, I don't know if we're going in time order. You gave me some notes here, and I have my own notes.
Yeah.
But Wu-Tang Maccabees.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Killa Priest.
Yep.
What is Wu-Tang Maccabees?
So
did I miss this?
So your boy was explaining it to us at the event that we was all at. Go ahead. But anyway, my bad. Go ahead.
Who you talking about? Shaheem?
Nah. Your boy that the white dude that showed up.
Frankie T?
Yes. He was explaining it to us.
Real quick. Yo, Frankie T.
Yeah, I was going to ask
fucking holler at me, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know what's up with you.
Yeah,
you posted some shit I didn't like.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if you're alive.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
If you are, holler at me and let me know.
Yeah,
please. Thank you. Frankie T. I love you.
Yeah.
Yo, so the Maccabees, so that whole thing just started off as me being a super Wu-Tang fan, which I still am. You know what I'm saying? I don't consider myself like a Wu-Tang member at all.
Right.
I just know I had a moment in time that I was affiliated with some of them brothers. And I was just a super fan that would show up to a lot of the events as a fucking 15 years old, autograph sign-ins. Right. So I went to an autograph sign-in for the Sons of Man album release at Fat Beats, which is on top of Great Papayas on West 8th, right? So I show up there to get my autographs.
Hold on, I'm sorry, but shout out to all that shit that don't exist no more.
Yeah, for real. Super. You know, was House of Nubians was right up the block. So I show up there. And I'm outside, you know, I'm an MC. So I see Timbo King from Royal Fam. So I tell Timbo King, yo, what's up? Let's spit. So me, Timbo King, and my man, Chef Peter Martinez was there.
Oh, Chef Peter?
Yeah. He done spit a verse, too.
Back then, he was Cartier.
Cartier, yeah. So he spit a verse. It was me, Cartier, and Timbo. We spit a verse, right? Timbo was like, yo, you dope. Let me get your phone number. I gave him the number to the laundromat because I didn't have a phone. So I remember standing by the laundromat for weeks waiting for Timbo to call.
By the payphone?
Damn.
I asked that. I knew it was the payphone, but I asked
Timbo,
because
I told you the story before too, bro.
This is such a different time, bro.
Yo,
like I love that you. I feel like I'm trying time traveling.
Yeah.
For real. And
So,
these kids wouldn't understand
no.
that you
They're
had
like,
to
what is a payphone?
give the payphone number and then post up there and wait. And if somebody tried to use it, you'd be like, "Yo, my man, like,
Yo, son, I'm waiting for a phone call, bro.
Yeah.
So I'm originally from Brooklyn, so I will always be going back and forth to Brooklyn, right? So the Timbo King Sons of Man album release happened, right? Fast forward a couple months, I'm hanging out in Brooklyn. I come back to Jersey. I stop at Times Square. We there like at 4 in the morning. So I'm standing in Times Square by the Israelite Brothers building or whatever, right? From the corner of my eye, I see Killa Priest pulling up. So I'm like, oh shit, Killa Priest just dropped Heavy Mental. So if anybody knows about Heavy Mental, this is a super fucking classic album. Lyricism at its finest, right? So I see Killa Priest there, and I'm like, yo, that's KP right there. So he came from that direction, walking what seemed to be in that direction. So I'm standing over here, the brothers are over there. So he's chopping it up with the Israelites, and then he's saying peace to them. So I'm like, yo, I'm going to walk this way right here.
and line it up.
And then I'm going to just be like, oh, shit, what's up, bro? You know what I'm saying?
Sure
enough, it worked, right? So I'm walking, I'm just... Oh, Priest, what's up, bro? How you doing? Yo, my name is Prophecy. Oh, all right, what's up? Peace, God. All right, yo, boom. I asked him to spit a cipher. He was like, yo, I don't know where that nigga is. I'm like, no, let's rap. He's like, oh, man, I'm tired. I just got out the studio. Yeah. And then I don't know what I did. I started talking about the songs that he did on his album. This nigga made me spit the entire Heavy Mental album. And I knew every word for word. Lucky so I spit the entire album. We broke down what every bar meant, what every song had to deal with, the backstory.
How long were you there for?
Yo, I don't know. The sun was up by the time I was home.
The sun came up.
Real shit.
I was going to say.
So we ended up going out to eat to a restaurant. He was just like, yo, you just can't order pork. I'm like, I don't eat pork anyway. Yeah. So he ended up showing me the Cross My Heart, Hope to Die. It originally had the RZA on it and not Inspector Deck. And then RZA took himself off and put Deck on it, which I guess was selfless about him. Not more like, I ain't fucking with you. More like, let me put my man on.
Because he probably project lined up next.
And Inspector Deck lost his album. So, you know, I know RZA was trying to throw him a bone, you know, by keeping him active. So we ended up going to the restaurant. And now, mind you, the first thing I told Priest was like, yo, let's have a cipher. But he was tired, right? So then we got into just me being a fan. He told me about when he battled Cannabis in Atlanta, which is a dope story. You know what I mean? Cannabis and his man C.I. came up to battle the Wu. I think it was RZA. It was Meth and Ray. Cannabis and C.I. ran through Meth and Ray. Then it was U-God and RZA. Cannabis and C.I. ran through U-God and RZA. And then Priest pulled up, and spit a 6-minute freestyle, and everybody shut up after that.
Damn.
So... Boom. Wow. We still
Shout out to Cannabis, though. One of my favorite MCs of all time.
Cannabis, man. Nobody wanted to rap after him. Nobody.
Who would? He kills 1,000 MCs and autographs all over the coffee.
And really, you know, I really feel Cannabis is a huge inspiration to Eminem.
Yes.
I
agree.
Absolutely.
You know, because
I agree.
Eminem came with a certain aggressiveness that was only heard of by Cannabis at that time. You know what I mean? So whatever. We get into the restaurant with Priest, and then I told him that I'm supposed to be working with Timbo King because I had met Timbo King at the thing. So I guess in that moment, he kind of like, wait a minute, you rap, right? So let me hear something. So I remember I spit a verse to him at the restaurant. And all I know is that he walked out. And I was mad.
Mid-verse?
At the end of the verse.
Oh.
He just walked out?
He
just got up and walked out?
And I was like,
I'm
yo,
like, wow, my shit is really trash.
I know my shit wasn't trash. I always knew I was not trash. Like I knew there was a moment
you don't know how to react.
I didn't know how to react.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck?
My shit was so fire he couldn't
This
speak.
nigga came back and was like, yo, here's the number to my girl's house, the number to my manager's house, my pager number, here's the office number. And I still got those numbers written down. And he was just like, yo, I need you to be a part of this Maccabees. What we doing is this and that.
Okay.
It's a project that I'm launching off. You know, I guess, you know, RZA was going to give him, you know, a hand with the Wu-Tang records and distribute it through there, whatever. So we ended up composing a few songs. One was Lost in Time and Valley of Dry Bones. So that was my introduction to that. And then shout out to my man Jamal. He ended up reconnecting me with Prodigal Son. And me and Prodigal Son ended up doing a few joints. Brooklyn Kids was one of them. And that was just my introduction to working with Sons of Man, being part of what was going to be the Maccabees, and it never took off.
Right. Well, shout out to that, though, man.
Yeah,
That's
shouts
dope.
to that, man. That's
Real
dope
quick,
experience,
shout out
though.
to Raekwon. I just finished his book, From Staircase to Stage. And it's super dope, yo. So if y'all are into books and Wu-Tang, go check it out. And Raekwon is one of the illest fucking members of Wu-Tang.
Yeah, 100%. Did you finish the series?
No, I haven't gone back. I'm still on the Purple Tape episode.
So you haven't watched the Purple Tape episode?
No, I have.
Oh, you talking about the series for Hulu?
What happened was that I saw the Purple Tape episode, and I think I might have even seen the next episode. And then life happened, and I took a major break. So I went and started season 3 again.
Okay.
So I can watch it properly. And I got up to the Purple Tape episode again, and I just
But the
life
Purple Tape
happened
episode
again.
was fucking super dope.
Yeah, it's dope. One of the dopest things. I don't know if you remember this because I look at the cinematography of it, right?
The
And
aesthetics of it, yeah,
actual
like the stage
art
and
design.
everything. Yeah.
And at the end of the episode, if you recall, it ends on 2 stoves, and then the camera zooms up, and the stoves become the holes of the tape.
Exactly.
And it's the purple tape.
And then
and I just thought that was just shot like really beautifully. Like,
when he turns.
I just appreciate when they shoot something that you're like, wow, they shot.
That's
Like,
RZA, bro.
in Notorious, when Biggie dies and they shoot just a hat in the street, in the rain and sleet, like it's just little shots like that. That if you're really into,
and you know,
film.
Killa Priest was the only person that they mentioned on the Wu-Tang series. During the Liquid Swords episode, Jizza was like, "Yeah, I'm about to go to Brooklyn and go meet up with Killa Priest."
Yep.
That's the only person.
See, I haven't got to that
So,
episode yet. The only person of like the next gen, like Sons of Man,
the affiliates,
Killer Army,
the affiliates, yeah. And for y'all too, man, tap into my Instagram or my social media profiles, whatever. I did a cover on every time Wu-Tang was doing a release on Hulu. I released something on my affiliation with the clan. So you know,
what's the Instagram? I know it because I follow you, but I don't have
journals.
it right now.
Jammed Up Journals on every platform, and y'all could also start following Hoffa TV. So Jammed Up Journals on TikTok,
No
Facebook,
underscore? Just
no
Jammed Up
underscore.
Journals, right?
Jammed Up Journals everywhere.
All right.
YouTube, all that.
And then Hoffa TV as well. So let's get into Jammed Up Journals, right?
Yeah, let's
After
go.
you were freed, right? You ended tour. Did you know while on tour that when you got out, you wanted to become a media personality?
No idea, bro. I remember there was this girl in fucking Onyx that she would call me like a fan. She'd be like, "You're a groupie." I couldn't stand this bitch. I ain't gonna say her name, but I couldn't stand this bitch, right? But for some reason, I knew to create content at all times.
Right.
I didn't know what it was for though.
Right.
So like,
even back then, you mean?
yeah. So like,
Okay.
for example, when I got extradited, I think it was 2016. I got extradited from Texas to New Jersey because I went on the run.
Right.
So I get released, and when I got released, I ended up just stealing some uniforms. And I didn't know what it was for, but I was just like, I'm stealing them. Stole them. I remember I tried to give my Walkman away to my man Goots, and the COs didn't let me give it away, and I ended up just like leaving with it because you're not supposed to leave with anything. Like
Right.
food.
Yeah,
supposed to
Walkman.
give it all
give it
to
all up
everyone
to
who's
anybody,
staying.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I couldn't give it to my man because the CO, I was leaving my unit, and his unit was right next to classifications where we get released. So he was the last opportunity that I had to give it away.
Right.
And then when I passed that moment, it was like I didn't have nobody to give it to. So
Right.
I was like, fuck it, I took it. And I didn't know what I took it for. But it comes out like later on, I ended up using that with all the other content that I was creating, you know, later on in life. You know what I'm saying? So there
You
was
ended
a
up
reason-
using the Walkman?
the Walkman. It's on the set, you know what I'm saying, to my show.
Oh,
you know
okay,
what I mean?
yeah.
But it just created the aesthetics
Right,
of the whole
right.
vibe, you know what I mean?
Right.
And the uniforms, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't, you know, those ain't made, you know what I'm saying?
To
Those
purchase,
are,
yeah.
those ain't made to purchase. Those are, you know, I had to go in there and, you know what I mean? Go
Those
through
are
it.
authentic.
Yeah, real shit.
Real
shit.
deal.
Real shit. Hudson County.
Shout out to that, man. Shout out to all the people behind the wall.
Shout out to the people that's doing something with themselves, man, because it's easy to get locked up. You hear me? It's easy to get locked up. That's the easy part. The hard part is making it out of there with your integrity and doing something with yourself after that. You know what I mean? We all gain knowledge in life. Knowledge is the basic fundamentals of everything. Knowledge is to look, listen, respect, and observe everything in the foundation of existence. And what comes after knowledge is wisdom. Wisdom is the manifestation of knowledge. Wisdom is only gained through experience. And that wisdom is what you gain that you do something with. And the best part of life is having an understanding. So that's the trinity that I hold: knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people, they gain knowledge, but they don't do nothing with the wisdom.
Right.
They don't share it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The wisdom that we gain through having these experiences, going through the jail system, that's the important part, is to teach the kids that we are doing something that I end off every show, we ain't meant to survive because it's a setup, but even though you're fed up, you got to keep your head up. This shit is a whole setup, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? These companies that own these music labels, they're the same companies that own private prisons. You know what I'm saying? So it's in their best interest to keep you diluted in a low frequency, dumbed down, to be able to go back into the system that they got privately owned.
Yes.
You know what I mean? From the phones to the food, you know, all that shit is a fucking monopoly, bro.
Even the social media.
Facts.
Yeah.
All this algorithm shit, man, they give you what they want to give you, bro.
Yeah,
There's a lot of negative, it's not only content, just like you said, vibration.
Yeah.
Low
There's a lot of
vibrations.
negative energy being put out that we absorb daily.
Absolutely.
Just to go against something you said, though, real quick, don't learn to bounce back from jail. Learn to fucking avoid jail, and then you won't need to bounce back.
Yeah. But, you know, I'm not, you know.
But if you end up in
jammed
it,
up journals, J-U-J, I won't judge you, so don't judge me. So I don't judge anybody for going through whatever pitfalls they go through.
Absolutely.
You know, learning on their own.
Life, yeah. But learn from it. Don't just fucking go through it and don't become part of the cycle and the statistics.
See, the part that I feel a little bit biased to or difference of what you just said is because no matter how many times somebody told me, I ain't listening.
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
We're all on our own individual timelines, right? So you'll
pick it up
understand when
yeah.
it's your time to understand. You feel me? Like you're not gonna grow at someone else's pace.
Yeah, no,
Plus
not at
you
all.
said knowledge, wisdom, understanding. I mean, those are part of the 12 jewels.
No doubt.
You know
They
what I'm
also,
saying?
you know, the first, the supreme mathematics of Allah.
Exactly.
Did you study 5%?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you're on tour?
No, I went into the 5% Nation. Shout out to my big brother, Kabu, Blade Runner, the original founder of the Justice League, the League, you know, legendary Hudson County, you know, movement. And he really brought me into the Nation and just studying and understanding it, you know. And I had certain spiritual experiences that kind of brought me back into Christianity. So I have a balance of like all kinds of walks of life, and I take what I find is the best part of all these walks of life, and I make it my own.
True.
You know, I don't know if y'all ever heard of Billy Carson.
Yeah.
Billy Carson's an ill dude. You know, there's things about him that I have an understanding. Malachi Z. York. You know, I know there's a lot of allegations on Malachi. I don't necessarily believe them, but, you know, he has a certain view of things. You know, of course, Clarence 13, Father of Law, you know, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. You know, they brought us a lot of understandings, and I take the best pieces of them. And, you know, being raised into a Christian home, I also have Jesus in my heart.
Right.
You know what I mean? So there's something in my heart that just always connects to Jesus, you know, but then there's mind elevation that connects me to other possibilities, you know what I'm saying? So I deal with a lot of different sciences, and I make it what's my own. The highest thing that I believe in is just to walk righteously, you know, to have a elevation of your mind, which is not just trying to be like, be up and almighty, just kind of like, you know, detaching yourself from a lot of negative things and thinking in a low vibration. You know what I mean? I'm trying to constantly be on a 432. If y'all don't know about 432, frequency hertz is a frequency that kind of keeps you at a higher elevation, that opens up your pineal gland, because your pineal gland connects to your spine, which is an antenna. But if you have your antenna covered in rubber, you're not going to have your antenna collecting any kind of information or frequencies, right? So to have your antenna spread out and open, you have to unveil it. You know what I mean?
And cleanse it.
And cleanse it.
Exactly.
So having these frequencies helps you unveil it. You know what I mean? So I try to do that.
Plus,
not always perfect at it.
Your pineal gland is your third eye.
And you can actually sleep to these megahertz.
Yes, absolutely.
So you
I would
wake
just
up
say
feeling.
I would just say research a little bit the sounds that you're gonna go to sleep to make sure that they are the 432 hertz.
Right.
Yeah.
They are the 528, whatever it is. and you're not listening to something else that'll, fuck you up. So
Facts.
Or research anything you listen to, guys, because don't just be listening to random shit.
Facts.
But shout out to that, man. Let's see. Damn, you just said something I wanted to go back on real quick. Oh, so in terms of religion, you appear to have, right, more so a universal understanding that we are composed of many beliefs. All of us, all of us that are wise, I should say, because you shouldn't lock yourself into one belief system. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I want to say something, but I don't want to get us blacklisted, you know? But
dance around it.
Yeah, you're good at dancing.
Yeah, I am.
Come on with your verbal
Pray
gymnastics.
for peace, y'all. Pray for peace. There's a lot of death going on. There's a lot of children being unjustly killed and mutilated, and one side believes they're right and the other side believes they're right and they're
both passionately convicted to this.
And the scariest thing that I read recently is that they're actually super connected and they refuse to acknowledge it and believe it.
Yep.
Do y'all know the story of Jesus speaking Aramaic, which is
Aramaic, yeah.
I believe
the original language. The original language,
right, which is connected to both Jews and Muslims.
Yeah,
and
Jesus was a Jew.
So
yeah, that's exactly.
So they're fighting their brothers and sisters and killing children, and people are picking sides, and there's no side.
That's what my homegirl asked.
Regardless of what side you pick, you're supporting death and torture and displacement and just negative.
Well, let me say this, right? Look, there was a moment where Jesus felt so offended that he came into the place of God and started flipping tables upside down.
I don't blame him. He needs to do that today.
So
send the flood. So
it's not always about turning the other cheek or approaching everything with a peace method. It's about standing for what you believe in. And whatever happens, happens. But you feel so convicted into that thought that you're not worried about the repercussions. You know that you're going with what's right.
Right.
Now,
to
you. Now, so I'm going to dance around it by saying, what I think that some of these people are fighting for is not about creating death, but it's about I'm standing up for myself.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm tired of taking up all this bullshit.
Right,
so, this is
what
it is.
I believe both sides are doing that.
Yeah. But I don't think that both sides are in the right for that.
And
I'm going to dance around it by keeping it
I definitely
there to
have
not offend anybody.
A thought. But, YouTube is crazy, bro. Yeah, YouTube, social media, everything. People are being blacklisted just for stating their opinion if you go against the powerful side, right? Because there's two sides. One side is powerful as fuck,
and the other side,
and one side is not as powerful. And everybody wants to support the powerful side, and they kind of some fucking dickheads, and the poor people are getting fucked.
Hey, it'll be easier for a camel to get into the to heaven than it's easier for a camel to get into the eye of a needle than a rich man to get into heaven. That means like a camel in the eye of a needle. How could you fit that into this little tiny thing? It's easier for this to happen than to somebody rich to get into the gates of heaven. Because to get rich, you have to do so many things and cross so many people to obtain all this.
I've always said
you have
that.
to step on necks, bro.
It's like that saying goes: behind every great fortune is a great crime.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So,
well, there was recently a great saying that was disproven that said behind every great man is a great woman, and Will Smith is gonna disagree, and so is my boy Papoose.
Yo, my
I told, yeah, bro. Yeah,
I just did a cover on that shit too, bro, and that shit ended up getting me a lot of hits. So I wasn't even about to do it because I didn't want to be doing too much gossip on Hoffa TV. But I realized that it's just something that's
part of life.
It's part of
and there's
the
some
media
things that
right
we have actual passion for. Like, I liked Pap and Rem. That was
Black
love,
love.
and he showed it so much, and we don't see it often enough. So
not only that, they were also relatable. They were relatable in the way that like they're not like Jay and Beyonce. Like we can't relate to them. They're billionaires. Not that Pap and Rem were, how could I put it, commoners, but they were more relatable to us. So we kind of saw ourselves.
With them a little bit more.
You know what I mean? So it's fucked up,
so,
man.
Yeah,
broke my heart,
it's discouraging.
I really want to think that they doing this as a whole fucking
nah.
Yeah, but I'm like, Pap can't be playing himself out like that.
Nah,
he ain't gonna play himself out like that, bro. Not Pap.
Nah. But still, shout out to them, love to them.
Yeah.
And we don't know the whole story.
And we don't.
I don't know what the fuck happened. I don't know what happened. That's why when I did my cover on them, go check it out on Hoffa TV.
Check it
out. I kept it real simple and let them narrate it. You know what I'm saying? I try to put as minimal as my input as I can, besides the obvious editing. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So now that you mentioned editing, you put out a lot of content.
Super.
And it's dope content, so everybody go check it out. At Jammed Up Journals, at Hoffa TV. Are you editing all of your own content?
The only things that I don't edit, shout out to my man Ray Cuts, is he does the Jammed Up Journals full episodes where, you know, we got a segment called Crooking. But let me break this down, man. Jammed Up Journals. Jammed Up is being locked up. Journals are pages of your life.
Right.
But I'm not glorifying people going into jail. What I'm doing is giving inspiration for ex-cons coming out of jail, not to give up, not to settle for minimum wage. I'm not saying to go get it, but not to settle for minimum wage, and definitely don't go back into a life of crime. Now, you got to do what you got to do to get where you got to go, but have a plan. But it's also for kids to watch the show to see how many years we lost, how much dumb shit we had to go through visiting our parents, or parents visiting us, or kids visiting us, or family members visiting us. You know what I mean? That it's a waste of time. But I don't want to just educate people. I want to entertain people.
Right.
So the show is a combination of Martha Stewart meets America's Funniest Home Videos. The reason I say that is because we got a segment called Crooking. Crooking is crooks who cook. And I'm the hip-hop chef, Mr. Hoffa, and I whip out jailhouse recipes. Then we got a segment called Thuggin' and Buggin', which is like America's Funniest Home Videos, where we do funny commentary on everything from the arrest to the release and all that's in between. You know what I mean? With other little fun segments, you know what I mean, sprinkled in there. But, you know, that's what Jammed Up Journals is. You know, J-U-J, I won't judge you, so don't judge me.
There you go. Everybody make sure y'all go check that out. You've had some dope guests up there. You have some dope segments that I've seen. And you said, so Ray Cuts, excuse me. Shout out to Ray Cuts. He edits the
long episodes.
The show, he edits the show. All the content that you see me creating by myself, like outside of the set, that's all me.
That's all you. Edited and everything. Okay. And it's all self-taught.
Yeah.
Okay. That's beautiful.
My man, shout out to Alex from Urban Innovator, B School for the Block. You know, he gave me the tools. He told me what apps to use. You know, he gave me some videos to like watch these videos and try to recreate this kind of shit. And it was just me sitting, you know what I mean? I shot a movie on this shit. Shout out to Ray Cuts again, who I ended up doing the movie on my own, filmed it on my own. My man Vex helped me co-write some of it. Did all the shit on my own at 5 in the morning, drinking fucking some of the margarita shits. And I edited it. And
Budweiser, lime
I fuck with those shit. I fuck with those shit, boy.
That's
can't tell me nothing.
AKA Thought Juice.
Can't tell me nothing. Can't tell me nothing. So I ended up, you know, recording this, filming this whole movie, shot it, edited it, and then Ray Cut saw it and was like, yo, I could do it better. He was like, yo, do the whole thing again. I'm like, oh, shit. Fuck. So I did the whole movie again.
We hate doing shit twice, right?
Oh, my God.
But, you know, we're supposed to do things like 5 times, like rough draft, edit, re-edit, cut.
Look, one time this dude, Chocolate Jared, right? I started working with him, and I did a song. He was like, yeah, that's cool. You mind doing the verse over?
Right.
I was like, wait, re-recorded? He's like, no, write another one. I'm like, nigga, do you know who I am?
Yeah.
Like,
but
at that
he
time,
was right.
So I'm like, let me be humble. I did it again. Then I recorded. He's like, I like that, but do you mind? And I'm like, this motherfucker here, yo. So I did it again. So now we're on a third one. He's like, yo, I love it. We need to do this. I invite him to come with me to Real Deal Radio. So I'm like, yo, I'm about to do this interview with my man P Hustle, Real Deal Radio. You want to come with me? He's like, yeah. I was like, you got any questions they want?
Paulie Hustle.
Yeah.
Shout out to Paulie Hustle.
Yeah, shout out to him. So I was like, yo, you got any questions that, you know, you want them to ask you? Anything that I should know? He's like, yeah, you could go look at my EPK. So I go look at his EPK. This nigga produced 4 songs on Lauryn Hill's album, co-produced with Carlos Santana, did the Broadway play.
And you doubting him.
And I was doubting him. Like, nigga, do you know who I am? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, shit, you're somebody too.
You are somebody.
Yeah, you're that guy. So, you know, it's always about, you know, and that's the one thing about an artist. I tell artists, like, don't be so, you know, fucking, you know, stuck on yourself that you can't do something over. You can't take criticism.
And don't always settle for
instruction.
You got to.
Don't always settle for the first shit you put out, bro.
Always,
like,
bro. You see, that's what that's what's happening today.
Okay, perfect wording. Yes, I was thinking the same thing. That's what's going on today. They do one take, one verse, and that's it. We're keeping it. Back in the days, I don't know if y'all know, Puff Daddy would make you write 5 verses for any song you was on, and then he'll select the verse that goes. And RZA used to do something similar where just record 10 verses and I'm gonna put them where they belong.
But the times have changed too, though, right? So like my man Alex from B School for the Block. Go follow him too. Yo, real quick too. Shout out to Izzy Nice, who just shut down the theater last night in Rutherford. Shout out Izzy Nice. I'm sorry I couldn't be there. I know you did your thing, man. There's a lot of up and coming artists from the area, man. Shout out to Dice the Hooker, my brother. I love that nigga. Dice the Hooker is an amazing artist who's on the come up right now. He got a lot of hit records. Shout out to TYG, who's on the come up. He got TYG. I'm telling you, is an amazing artist. Shout out to Stories, and of course, shout out to my brother King Problem, bro. One of the hardest working men, the James Brown of hip hop out here right now. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to King Problem. I love that nigga too, man. That's real close peoples to me. But Alex from B School of the Block, he was telling me like, yo, this is the problem. He told me like this straight up. He's like, this is the problem with you old ass niggas. Oh, y'all old ass niggas want to do, and he, you know, he gives me the utmost respect. But he tells me straight up. He's like, that's the problem with you old ass niggas. Y'all want to fucking take forever to do this one thing while these youngsters are putting out material after material after material. And that's what I think is giving these young artists, these young influencers a lot of opportunities, because they're putting out so much material that they're flooding the gates and they're getting people to sponsor them, to back them up. Right. While opposed to somebody else would take 2 months to put out one piece of material and it comes and it goes. Right. You know, well, now, right? So now there's a balance, right? So for example, like the content that I put out on my social media, it is what it is. To me, I love it, right? But I recorded 70 videos in one day. Right. Next day, I recorded another 50, you know? So I took some time into getting my mind right for it, which he was judging. Like, that's what's wrong with you old ass niggas. And I'm like, trust me, I got it. I understand what you're saying with the new wave and put out content after content. I also understand where I come from, where it got to be quality. Right. Exactly. So I just combined that method of both to not just be putting out slow material to flood them, but take time and make sure you're doing the right thing. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a combination of both, because if an old person learns something from a new person, it can be very beneficial for that old person. If that young person learns something from the old person, it could be very beneficial for that young person.
They can combine their methods and
it's
come
an
up with
exchange of power. You know what I'm saying?
The only rebuttal I would have for Alex is how much of this quick content that y'all are creating is going to last the test of time. Right. Because content that was created 20, 30 years ago is still very alive and vibrant. Absolutely. Where content that was created 2 years ago is out of here. It's gone. You know what I'm saying?
We don't even hear about it no more.
Well, that's the balance that I kept. You know what I'm saying?
It's about quality to me. It don't matter how long it takes you to put it out. If it's good, it's going to be accepted as good and renowned. Exactly. And if it's whack, it's going to be whack. It don't take you if it took a day or a year. Whack is whack.
I think it's both. I think you got to have the quality, and I think you got to have the quantity of it. You know what I'm saying?
It's a balance.
You're going to get lost in the midst of all these other people putting out a bunch of material, and you're never going to be heard.
I don't know, but I'll say like this. For instance, I started noticing that on my YouTube, for instance, I started getting a lot of bullshit. But it's also because of the quick shit that I was watching. And I was like, that's partly my fault. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. So, like, I had to actually step away and be like, all right, I got to watch better shit, because then I'm still going to be getting all this bullshit. I don't want to watch this shit. And I realized that I was watching mindless fucking shit. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's going back to the point you made earlier. It's made for that. It's made to keep you there, dumb and mindless.
Yeah, I was like, I can't be watching
and hypnotized by stupidity.
You
and
keep
shit.
This low frequency with dumbed down content. You're just gonna be in a state of ignorance, bro. Yeah, you know what I mean. So you gotta keep a balance, and that's why with Jam Dumb Journals, I try to do education and entertainment. Edutainment.
So how often do you drop episodes?
We was dropping once a month, and then during the summer we had some issues going on. I had some personal shit going on with my family.
Life always happens.
Yeah, so we kind of backed. I still got shows in the cut, right? You know what I mean? That just didn't get released, right? But our goal was to drop one a month. But I ended up feeling like me dropping one a month. This is my first time coming into the game. This is why I respect you brothers and the GAHHDcast with my brother Ephraim doing what y'all doing, because y'all have set the standard of being consistent, and when talent doesn't take you there, consistency will. Absolutely. And if you have both of them, you're a hit. You know what I'm saying? Which is why I humble myself to you brothers, because I'm a cocky motherfucker. I know where I stand. I know what I got, but I know that I got to give respect when respect is due. You know what I'm saying? So
respect in return.
Absolutely. And I respect you brothers publicly. Let me let y'all know that. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you, because y'all keep y'all consistency, y'all keep y'all integrity, and it's an entertaining show. Thank you. But yeah, so I started feeling like, what, I'm not even gonna limit myself to or box myself in to a time. I'm just gonna release these shows. Look forward to doing a season 2. You know what I mean? I know my shows are a little bit more complicated because I do the cooking shit and then the funny video shit. And it just becomes more complicated with the cameras and switching lights and then cleaning up the mess. So it's not as easy as I thought it would be in the beginning. You know what I mean? But I still got a dream. I'm still going after it. And I'm a hard-headed motherfucker. I'm an Aries, so I ain't going to stop until I get it done. You heard?
Absolutely. Shout out to that. So now, real quick, shout out to your co-host.
Yeah, rock the fucking block. The Black Viking, man. What's good, nigga?
Viking.
Yeah. That nigga's a beast, bro. I'm telling you.
Shout out to him.
I seen this
Shout out to
nigga
him.
get into fights and throw niggas down the stairs. Yo, listen, one
Some
time.
Black Viking shit.
Listen, one time these niggas came to the projects, right? Because somebody had got beat up from this other side, right? So they came to the projects to go check the person that beat him up, right? So Rock is in the hallway. Niggas is trapping. He's on the 5th floor. A bunch of niggas come in. It's like 7 of them. This nigga gets into blackout mode. He curls. Well, first, before he gets into blackout mode, he curls up into a ball. Niggas are kicking him, beating on him. They think they got the up.
No,
like,
he's building the energy up.
He's taking off his fucking $700 earrings.
Oh.
So he's like, all right.
Oh, I thought it was like an anime.
Nah.
Like, you got to get beat up a little to build up the comeback?
He probably both, right?
Yeah.
So
You
he gets
got to
up,
get pissed off.
He gets up. This nigga starts throwing people down the stairs. But while he's throwing people down the stairs, niggas are coming from other sides of the hallway to hold him down. Niggas from our hood.
Yeah.
So there's 2 niggas that pull up on our side. Now they get part of this 7 people that are jumping him, trying to take those 7 people off. But he's in such blackout mode.
Heard them
he
too.
throws them down the stairs too. So niggas are down the stairs fighting the niggas that they getting thrown down with. Like, you know what I'm saying? So this nigga Rock the Block is a different kind of animal, bro.
Oh,
he's a
shit.
different kind of animal.
He's
He's a different kind of animal, bro.
Shout out to Rock the
Shout
Block.
out to Rock the Block, bro. They don't call him Rock the Block for nothing, bro.
Nah, he rock the blocks.
Damn, what's that movie? There's a movie. It's a Japanese movie, bro.
Shout out to D-Boy too, the mayor, man. Shout out to V.EX.
Like, shout out to him. That sounds like a scene from The Raid. It's a classic fight scene in a hallway where it's one dude against like 20. And
Listen, me and that nigga
Rock the
fight so
Block,
much verbally, but I know I keep this nigga in my corner.
Rock the Block seems to be a throwback champion.
What do you mean by that?
Every time I see y'all clips and y'all shows, maybe I'm bugging. Maybe it's just me imagining it. But I feel like he always got a dope throwback on.
Oh, yeah. Oh, what?
Yeah.
He's like, watch, I'm going to kill him with the throwback.
Yeah. No, all right. So shout out to that. He is correct. You are
dope.
killing him because I noticed that shit right away.
Shout out to Rock the fucking Block.
what's up.
That nigga got more gold than Mr. T. And you should see his mother. His mother is dripped out too, bro.
Yeah.
Like gold
What's up?
everywhere.
Runs in the
Shout out
family.
to
Yeah,
that,
no,
bro.
definitely.
Is he Jamaican?
Belize.
Oh, Belize. Okay.
Yeah,
Belize
Central
and-
American.
That's what's up.
Yeah, they my
Shout out to
cousins,
Belize.
man. They my cousins. I'm from El Salvador, so you know
Shout out to
They're right there.
Shout out to all the
Central America, right
Salvadorians out there.
yeah, Salvatrucha.
Salvatrucha.
So now Jammed Up Journals is up and running. Shout out to Rock the Block, your host. You got your
My brother.
episodes. You got excuse me, yes. You have episodes in the stash that are gonna drop soon. What made you want to launch Hoffa TV? And
Great
2-part question. What is the difference?
So Jammed Up Journals is that talk show, right? It's not a podcast, it's a talk show. I know people are gonna be like, your podcast, that's cool.
Yeah.
So what made me grow into Hoffa TV is that I wanted to end up having more conversations with other people that didn't always tie into the jail mentality of redemption, right?
Right,
But
okay.
that's what Jammed Up Journals is the mentality of redemption coming out.
Right.
It's not about what you did to get in, all that
Yeah,
gangster
right,
shit. I don't
yeah.
care about that.
By the way, not to cut you off, but I like that you guys don't ask what got you jammed up.
yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Like that should it matters, of course, but once you're out, it don't fucking matter.
it's
Or
not
even
what
when
you-
you're in, you don't ask.
I mean, to
It's
some
about
people
what
that
you do, you know?
Yeah, exactly. That's to
Unless
me.
you want some pedo shit.
Yeah, to me, it's about
That
what you're
don't
doing
count.
with yourself,
He ain't
right?
interviewing pedos.
No. I mean, in general, not related to Jammed Up Journal, in life.
So I ended up feeling like I got to a wall trying to continue the conversation with people and not having to tie it in.
Right.
I kept on trying to figure out ways, well, how does this tie in? How can I connect the dots with Jammed Up Journal since
Right.
it's my platform?
And everybody won't.
Yeah, and everybody won't. And I
It
also
limits your
like
guests.
it limits my guests. It limits my fan base. You know, so I kind of felt like I got to a brick wall. So then I was like, I got so much to talk about. Like I have, you know, I feel like I'm a factory of content. You know,
Right.
like my man Alex tells me. Like I have ideas all day to create
And knowledge.
new things, no doubt, and wisdom, right? So I feel like I could create so much content, and then with Jammed Up Journals, I felt like limited. So then I was like, you know what? How do I extend myself to grow further? You know, to not be limited to even just the hip hop culture. Which
Right.
of course I'm hip hop all the way I bleed this shit,
Right.
bro. From the way I talk to the way I shit to the way I fuck a bitch. You heard? You know, this is
Put a
hip-hop
needle
all
in
the
that because
way.
I want to ask you a question.
No doubt. So now it's like Hoffa TV. I can just expand my audience and talk about anything. I could go into the top billboards of the country, not just hip hop. I could talk about anything, you know what I mean? And it's just a broader audience.
Now, will Hoffa TV be like regularly scheduled drops, or is it just you can drop whenever? Is it like a 30-minute show? Is it a 2-minute segment?
So what I want to do is that I got like about 10 to 12 shows lined up, which I'm not hosting. Right, even though I'm the super host, I'm not hosting all these shows. I will be hosting some, but I wanted to create a platform where other people have opportunities to give their views on certain topics that I agree with and put them out through my channel. But I don't want to be obligated to, in the beginning, to every week, every 2 weeks, 20-minute shows. You know what? Let's create content. Let's create content.
So Hoffa TV is more of the network.
Yes, yes,
absolutely. And it's not limited to just you and your show.
Not at all.
You're inviting other creators. Yeah. Okay, that's actually dope. So it's more a network thing.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And people that I just feel that stand and represent the same thing that I do for a culture, for a group, a region, right? Because, here we go, man. New Jersey is such a unclaimed, but not unclaimed territory. Like, we have so many legendary people out here that have been putting it down for us, who might not be legendary to the world because they didn't get a chance or opportunity to really have that voice. But I really feel that we have a big voice out here that hasn't got that microphone to speak to. You know what I'm saying? So I'm consciously trying to be that microphone for these people. Right. You know what I mean? And that's basically what it is. Now, that doesn't limit me to not going back into New York, because I'm originally from New York. Right. So, of course, I fuck with a lot of people out there. Right. But I want to. But you're also
fighting the shadow. Yes, right. We're overshadowed by New York. We're always the stepson or whatever, the stepchild. Yeah. So real quick, if someone has a show idea or a content idea and maybe doesn't know where to put it, doesn't have a platform, or everyone has a platform nowadays, right? But maybe their platform is not extensive. Yeah. They can holler at you, present you the show.
They can hoffa at me.
They can hoffa at you, present you the show, and if you think it's
we could talk.
Fitting of the network.
Yeah. They just got to come correct and be able to, kind of be a little bit self-sufficient. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't
You're not going to do the work for them.
Yeah. I only got 2 arms. Yeah.
You're going to give them the platform. Bring your content.
And also the jewels, you know what I'm saying, the direction, you know what I mean? Because even for me, I don't got nobody that and thanks to you, brothers, but I didn't have anybody that I could talk to about, like, how do I do a cooking show?
Right.
I didn't have nobody. I put out a mixtape in 2001 with Wu-Tang on it, with Boot Camp on it, with Cosmo D from the Nucleus on it, with Dead Prez on it. In 2001, I don't know anybody that had a mixtape before 2001. Right. I was probably the first person putting out mixtapes out here, especially with industry names. So it's not people that I could always ask for. I try to be the first one to do certain things. Maybe I do it to the level that I wanted to. Maybe I don't. I try. My life distractions has always gotten to me, which is why right now I'm just trying to basically stay drug-free, stay focused. You know what I mean? I slipped up from the gym, but I got to get back in there, and I think that's an important part to have into somebody's mental stability is just having a physical outlet of exercise. But, just maintaining my discipline, I think that, I'll be able to reach any point that I want to get to. You know what I mean?
Right. And I agree. And we support you to the fullest. And anything we can do to help you, absolutely, we will.
Y'all already doing it. Y'all already doing it.
So anybody and everybody, make sure you're following at Hoffa TV, at Jammed Up Journals. If you have show ideas, if you have content ideas, if you need some mentorship, if you don't know how to create content and just want to talk to a good brother, holler at him. He's willing to give a helping hand. No don't fucking try to take advantage, please.
Each one teach 10, like my man Shaheem said.
Now, you said earlier, and we'll end the show with this conversation, you said you are hip-hop through and through in the blood, from the way you shit to the way you eat, talk, all that good shit.
No doubt.
I feel that way as well, right? And I believe we all share that.
Absolutely, yeah.
But lately, my love for the culture has been dwindling, right? And I believe it's due to the fact that the culture itself has been dwindling, and anytime you speak this way, you're the old head hater, man, right? Because God forbid you have an opinion that disagrees with what anybody says. And I think the quality of music itself is deteriorating rapidly. But I also think
the quality of hip hop music, you're saying.
Of course, yeah. No, I'm only speaking about hip hop now.
Okay.
But I also think the culture of hip hop is deteriorating, right? The fundamental culture of upliftment and education, and each one teach 10, and the G code, all the stuff that we grew up on. I don't think hip hop's 4 elements are existent or taught.
It's 5 elements.
It's 5 elements.
Yeah.
But I don't. nobody cares about that shit no more, except us, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's forcing me to fall out of love with hip hop. So my question to you is, do you ever feel that way as well?
Hell yeah, all the time. But then I guess something that reminds me of, you know, why I fell in love with the culture in the first place. And I think that everything grows, right? Some say it expands because expansion doesn't mean growth. Growth, you know, it's two differences between both of those words.
And throw evolution in there too.
Yeah. And it evolves. So you can't expect the things to be the same. You know what I mean?
No,
when we was doing baggy pants and rapping over samples and a boom bap, you know, somebody like in the Prince era and the James Brown era could have looked at us like, what y'all doing? Y'all just
And they
garbage.
did.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. You know what I mean? So you have to understand that there's nothing new under the sun. Everything is going to take its revolvement. And one thing that I do say about the new generation is that what they're doing that maybe wasn't done so much during the golden era is melodies, you know, musically. You know, and what I do appreciate about the new generation is that they transpire more of music sound, of melodies. You
They
know,
incorporate more musicality.
Yes, you know what I'm saying? And I think that has a big part to do with because it went to the South. And the South, you know, they have a lot of soul in their music. You know what I'm saying? So I do fall out of love with hip-hop all the time. All the fucking time. I think Nas did too. You know what I mean? When he said hip-hop is dead. But then there's something that brings me back. You know what I'm saying? There's something that brings me back.
Do you recall the last thing that brought you back? Because for me, it'd be like a J. Cole verse.
The Wu-Tang show.
The Wu-Tang show on Hulu.
Yeah.
Shout out to that, man. Wu-Tang and American Saga on Hulu. If you haven't watched it, go watch it.
That shit brought me back, bro. Like bad, bro. Like I wanted to do everything again. I wanted to form my whole rap group again, and you know bring the Rap-O-Matics back.
Is that I felt a lot of those things too. This guy hits me with like, we should have done more.
Yo, it's true.
This guy looks at it with regret, yo. I'm like, nah, nigga,
I
you
do.
can't.
Nah, that's how Rock the Block be hitting me. Yo, if we would have just supported each other and we would have just done this and that, we were bullied our way. I'm like, yeah, Rock, but you
because we didn't reach a level that I'm satisfied
Absolutely,
with.
I
So
get
I'm always
that.
going to look at it with
But you
regret.
know what? Look.
Not just regret, because I enjoyed the times and I love the memories. And if I could relive it again and still achieve the same level of success, I totally would, because it was just
fun.
But
beautiful.
Look, I approached Bushwick Bill with the same thing, right? Bushwick Bill was my man, bro. This is my dude.
The real Bushwick Bill?
Yeah. We were supposed to do some music together. When he died, I was in prison, and my man from Houston that was part of, you know, this whole screwed up clique, his family was family with Bushwick Bill. So I wrote a letter that I think made it to Bushwick Bill's casket.
Amen.
So, you know,
and rest in peace, DJ Screw.
Yeah. So when I had first met Bill, I approached him spitting, right? And I was like, yo, blah, 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 blah. He was like, yo, that's dope. And I was like, yo, man, you know, I never made it to the point where you made it to, you know, and kind of feeling that sense of, you know, regret. And, and he was like, yo, what's wrong with you? I thought he snapped on me for a second because he changed up his whole vibe. So I was like, this little nigga talking about it, right? And he was like, bro, it's people like you that kept the culture alive. It's not everybody that's going to make it to this pinnacle of success, but it's the whole world of this culture. The culture is not records being sold. That's not the culture. That's a certain peak of the culture that you have self-fulfillment. But the culture is the clothes. The culture is the conversation. The culture is the way we talk, is the way we do everything. That's the culture.
That's culture.
And we were a part of that culture. And we kept that culture alive. Now, reaching that pinnacle is a certain success that everybody would like.
Right.
Yes.
And I've heard this conversation too, where they said that that success, because that's where we're at now. The success that hip hop has had is what ruined hip hop. Because now it no longer belongs. At one point, hip hop belonged to us.
Everything
now it
sold
belongs
out
to the corporations.
You
know what I'm
that's
saying?
with
So,
anything.
But one side of it.
Wants to succeed.
like we won, hip hop won. We are the number one genre, but at what cost? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, you sell your soul, bro.
Yeah. And also the other thing that I wanted to say is the funny thing is that remember how we were talking about 2 episodes or maybe the last 2 episodes how we don't have that feeling and how you know you fell out of love, you're falling out of love with the culture. You're on the timeline. I see the same thing. Mad people are like, yo, I'm not even in love with this culture no more. Like, I'm about to move on.
Because the culture has grown and changed and shifted, and it's not what we grew up on.
Or
you know what I'm saying?
we changed.
It's not our culture.
But this is also the other thing that I have an understanding of, right? Like, even though the corporations have taken over, right, we still are in somewhat of control because the record labels are not the predominant industry. It's us that are the predominant industry being influenced by the corporations.
Right.
So we have control of our own platform, which is our social medias, right?
Right.
And we could create it to what we want, but it's not forgetting who we identify with. Like, if I come out with my show right now and I just try to identify with 18-year-olds, they're gonna look at me a little bit different, and I'm not gonna be able to,
and it's not gonna
tap in.
connect.
Yeah, it's not gonna connect. So, the culture's still alive. It's just not alive as much as into the new generation of what I consider to be the culture. Now, if I tap into my peers, they might appreciate my cultural acknowledgement way different. Right. Like I was saying about re-releasing my album.
Yeah. You got to find your niche market.
And then they're going to be like, yo, that's hip-hop all the way. Right. Yeah. If I release it to these young kids, they were like, I ain't listening to this old ass
boom, bam,
shit.
shit.
Yeah, so... it's about who you tap into, and I'm pretty sure that hip-hop is still alive. It's still alive, breathing, healthy.
Well, it's within us. So
it's just having a 9-to-5 job now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Our what we consider to be the real hip-hop has a 9-to-5 job. They're not out there. 9-to-5 job. They're not out there selling drugs.
They're not fighting for the recognition.
They're grandparents now.
Exactly. And real quick, to go back to something else you said, so that the new generation doesn't think I hate them. I
love the new generation. I love the new generation.
DNA in my body.
About to drop some shit with King Von.
What I love about this new generation when it relates to hip hop and to music is that they are in more full control of their output, their careers, their profits, their connection
business
to their fans. It was different back in the day when you needed the label and
do everything for you.
It might take you 6 months to drop a single. Where now you record a song today, you put it out tomorrow.
You're in your living room and shit. Yep.
So shout out to that, man. Shout out to the brother Hoffa, Mr. Hoffa, super host, Jammed Up Journals, Hoffa TV.
You already know. Shout out to Davies Arts. Go check that man out with his tattoo work. Shout out to D-Boy. Shout out to V.EX. Shout out to Rock the Block. Shout out to Blade Runner, man. Shout out to all the brothers who supported me in what I was doing. My brother Ori. And if I missed anybody, I apologize. But, a lot of people helped me down. Money Grams, Gator the Don. I love all y'all brothers. Thank you for, when you see me and Jammed Up Journals, man, there's still a lot of people behind it that, help me out either financially or spiritually, emotionally, because, I'm an emotional mess sometimes. So, shout out to everybody who helped me down and all these new artists that I named. Shout out to Izzy Nice. Shout out to Dice the Hook God. Is a fucking super dope artist.
He just had a show, right?
Yeah. I covered it too. Yeah. Y'all got to get Dice the Hook God up here, bro. I'm telling you, he's a beast. Absolutely. Shout out to DJ June. Shout out to my brother Shaheem. Man, that's it, man. Jammed Up Journals, we in the building. Check for me if you got to check for me. You heard me?
Yes, sir. And we have a lot of work to do. We will most likely, fingers crossed, of course, be co-hosting an event together soon. Shout out to DJ June. Yes, we co-hosted one previously. Yep. And we just got a bunch of work to do. We're gonna be collabing a lot. I fuck with Mr. Hoffa big time.
Absolutely,
no doubt.
And we gotta. Can we come up to Jammed Up Journals? Oh yeah, this fool got a thing.
Yeah.
What the?
We'll talk about it off, Mike.
Another thing.
Yeah. I had I pre-recorded everything last year, so that's why I said I still got shows in the cut. Right. So I'm trying to
release them.
I gotta release them, but I'm trying to get a new location. You know what I'm saying? Because I bought people that were that I knew personally to the location before, which is at a family's house, which I don't want to keep on bringing people that I don't know.
Right.
Not you guys.
No,
absolutely.
No,
for 30 years.
Of course.
But, there's a lot of other people that I don't know.
Right,
I'm not bringing them.
Can't let everybody into
it. I'm just looking for a new location. So if anybody got any locations available, some space, I don't need no fly shit.
Brother F.
No, you see, that's the thing. I need a dingy look.
But that's the thing. Look. You got the room and you just dingy it up yourself. I
don't think bro's gonna let me do that shit.
No. I mean in the building.
Oh yeah.
In the building.
That's all I need. A brick wall and some space.
Exactly.
Baby. That's all I need, man.
Shout out to that, man. Everybody, please make sure you're following at Hoffa TV, at Jammed Up Journals. Be on the lookout for new episodes, new content, all that good stuff. Shout out to the brother F. Shout out to Dolly. Shout out again to Puerto Rico, just because I love you and I miss you already. A few weeks ago, we were scheduled to interview a couple of guests from Texas that unfortunately weren't able to make it due to travel restrictions.
Who's that?
Complexities. A couple brothers down with
Holy Nation.
Yeah, with the brother RGM. Oh, actually, I have their names right here because I had written down and done my research when they never showed up.
Saucewood winning.
No, actually. Oh yeah, Saucewood winning. Sauce Gohan, Mike Deasy, and RGM 150. They were up here for some work, and unfortunately, the time.
We got Sauce Walker on Jammed Up Journals for the South by Trap edition.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So shout out to that.
This guy, shout out to Gio. He just shot a video with Sauce Walker.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Gio. He's doing a lot of great things.
Yeah.
So because they were coming up, I had some music lined up for them. They never showed up. I saved the music, and since Mr. Hoffa is a Texas representative as well as Brooklyn, Jersey, Puerto Rico, New Jersey, Miami, all that good stuff, we're going to end the show today with the Texas National Anthem.
What you got?
So shout out again, Mr. Hoffa. Everybody make sure you're following me at Jammed Up Journals, at Hoffa TV,
what's the
at GAHHD _ podcast, at money _ Burnz, at Efanar711, at Teeth Whitening Doll.
No doubt.
This has been episode 168 of the Great American Hip Hop Debate Podcast.
Let's go.
Wait till it get
greatest podcast in the world.
Shout out to Texas.
Woo. Oh. Okay. I'ma come down.
Rest in peace, DJ Screw.
Yo, rest in peace to my brother Bushwood Bill, the big bro, man. The big little bro.
That's right.
Shout out and rest in peace, Pimp C UGK. Shout out the brother Scarface. Big Mo, Big Pookie, KC, Youngster.
You know they all say that, right? I'ma come down. I'ma come down. That's what they all say for everything. I'ma come down.
Rest in peace, DJ Screw.
100.
This is the original June 26th freestyle.
Yeah.
AKA the Texas National Anthem. As we fade out, shout out to everybody tuned in. We'll be back soon.
I'm gonna come through. I'm gonna come down. I'm gonna come through.
I'm moving to Puerto Rico, y'all. Quick announcement. I don't know if I told y'all this, but
that's it. You out?
Yeah, immediately.
That nigga's capping.
I'm zooming. I'll podcast zoom.
Nigga got Busta Rhymes caps.
I'm gonna go. I'm just go podcast from a beach.
Yeah, that's good though, man. I'm glad you got that, man.
Thank you, brother F.
Coming down.
Out.
Told you.
Automatic hole, got a yellow hole. Coming through the boulevard, Casper, Cal Road. I never gave a damn. My juice gonna slam. I'm at IHOP, eat some breakfast and some yams. My partner's got chillin'.